Lena and her boyfriend Adam were heading to a cabin retreat just outside the Olympic Forest. It was supposed to be a weekend away from city stress. No phones, no work, just them in the trees. But fog rolled in thick as milk by the time they turned off the main road. Their GPS kept rerouting. The signal flickered. Lena thought it was weird. The app still gave them exact directions through such a remote area. When they arrived at a small white farmhouse with green shutters, the app pinged, "You've arrived." No sign, no lights, but the door was slightly open. Adam got out first. Looks older than the pictures, but maybe it's vintage. Lena hesitated. Something about the way the trees bent around the house made it feel like they were watching. Still, they entered. Inside, the layout almost matched the Airbnb photos. A couch, fireplace, rustic kitchen, but everything was duller, dustier. The clock on the wall ticked backward as they brought in their bags. Lena noticed something off. There were no electrical outlets anywhere. Not a single one. She opened a cabinet in the kitchen. Inside were 5 identical mason jars, each labeled with a name. One of them read, Lena. The moment she saw it, the front door slammed shut on its own. Adam tried opening the door. Locked. They checked windows, nailed shut. Lena's phone, dead. Upstairs, they found a bedroom that looked like someone had just left, sheets pulled back. A cup of tea half full, steam still rising. But the hallway mirror reflected something strange. It showed 2 people standing behind them. They fled into the bathroom and locked the door. The window in there wasn't nailed shut. Adam forced it open, and they jumped into the brush behind the house. But when they looked back at the house, it wasn't there. No building, no road, just trees. And a deer skull nailed to a tree. Facing them, they ran for miles. Eventually, a local ranger found them on the side of a Forest Service road, disoriented, freezing. When they tried to explain what happened, the ranger said, "There hasn't been a house out here in 40 years, but hikers keep finding those jars." To this day, Lena doesn't know what she stepped into, but sometimes, when she's walking alone or in the shower or about to fall asleep, she smells old pine and hears a slow creak, like a door opening, and she remembers the label, her name, on a jar, in a house that no longer exists. Jace had a night off from driving. He was home watching a documentary with his cat, just trying to unwind. At exactly 2:17 a.m., his phone rang. The screen showed unknown number, but something was weird. The number was zeroed out, like it didn't exist. He almost let it go to voicemail, but curiosity won. He picked up. Hello? Nothing. Just a low, slow inhale, like someone drawing breath for the first time in years. Then, "Is this Jace Caldwell?" A voice so distorted, it sounded like it was underwater. Jace didn't answer, but the voice continued. "That cat you have. Her name is Molly. You got her in 2020. That was early. You were supposed to wait." Jace sat up, pulse pounding. How could this person know that? His phone wasn't connected to any public pet databases. He'd never even posted pictures of Molly online. He hung up. 30 seconds later, the phone rang again. Same number. Same call time, 2:17 a.m. As if time had looped, he answered. This time the voice laughed, and then it said, "Now that you've answered twice, you've invited me." The call ended. All the lights in his apartment flickered, just for a second. Then, silence. Except Molly, his cat, was staring at the corner of the room, tail puffed, hissing, at nothing. Jace got up and checked his door. Locked. Windows closed. He thought maybe it was a prank. Maybe someone spoofed his number. But the next day, the calls continued. Always 2:17 a.m. Always the same voice. Sometimes it described his dreams he never told anyone about. One night, the voice said, "You don't dream on your own. We let you dream." The next time it called, Jace didn't answer. He turned off his phone, even left it in the freezer. But when he looked out his apartment window that night, someone was standing beneath the streetlight across the road, wearing his lift jacket, holding his phone. Even though the real one was frozen solid, Jace called the phone company. They checked the logs. There were no incoming calls at 2:17 a.m. No record, no billing data. He asked them, "What happens when a number doesn't exist?" The technician paused, then whispered, "If it doesn't exist here, then it's not from here." Calls have slowed. Now it only rings once a year. Always at 2:17 a.m., on the night his mother died. Something he never told anyone. Every year the voice asks the same thing. "Do you still have the cat? You were never supposed to." Malik had worked in government asset disposal for 12 years. He was used to walking into forgotten buildings and sealing them up for good, but this time it felt different. This bunker in Nevada hadn't been touched since the late 80s. It was part of a nuclear-era shelter program that had long been erased from public knowledge. He received basic coordinates and a faded blueprint. No entry logs, no explanation, just a note: secure B unit and recover any human remains for disposal. He descended the rusted metal stairs. No light, just layers of dust and heat so dense it pressed against his skin like a hand. The deeper he went, the stranger it felt. There was still power, somehow. Old halogen lights flickered to life when he passed, and something smelled like iron and rot. In one room he found photos pinned to the wall. Men in suits, soldiers. One picture had a name scratched in with a knife: Captain Ronald Fisk. The same name written dozens of times in notebooks across the floor. According to records, Captain Fisk had volunteered to remain behind during a final containment simulation in 1987. The test was meant to last 48 hours, but there was no extraction recorded, no follow-up. Malik radioed back to HQ for clarification. No response. The signal down there was dead, even on analog. He found a locked steel door labeled Observation Chamber 7B. A horrible smell oozed through the cracks. Malik pried it open with a crowbar. Inside was a small chamber with a mirror wall, observation style. Behind it, a single cot, old food trays, and a man-sized smear of something dark across the wall. But the worst part? A heartbeat monitor was still on. Flatline? No, it was beating. Slow, steady. Malik backed out, but then he heard it. A voice. Gravelly, dry, like sandpaper tearing paper. "You came back late." Malik spun around. No one, just shadows, dust. He moved quickly back toward the stairwell as he ascended. The lights shut off one by one, following his path, like something chasing the darkness upward. When he emerged back into daylight, he bolted the door behind him and welded it shut. But the sound of the monitor, that beating heart, stuck in his ears for weeks. When Malik returned to HQ with the footage, his supervisor looked uneasy. "Captain Fisk," the man muttered. Then he handed Malik a folder. Fisk had been declared dead in 1988. Body recovered, buried. But Malik had seen that chamber. He'd heard the voice. He asked, "If he's dead, who's still down there?" The supervisor didn't answer, just crossed Malik's name off a clipboard. Malik doesn't work with the government anymore, but he still dreams about that heartbeat. still sees photos of Captain Fisk in nightmares. Only now, he's not in uniform. He's in Malik's clothes, in Malik's house, looking into Malik's mirror. If this kept you up even a little bit, then you're exactly the kind of person they're looking for. Subscribe for more true inspired horror.